Welcome to Manifest Mindset by Affirm, Form, Attract. Your place to come to when you need tips and advice when manifesting. We are an affirmation channel and you can find all our affirmation videos on YouTube. Hello, and welcome to Manifest Mindset with Affirm, Form, Attract. In this wonderful podcast, I'm going to be talking about changing your life thought process. And that is to do with anything and everything when you want to level up in your life. It could be starting a business, starting a side hustle. It could be something as simple as starting a YouTube channel. So if this sounds like you, listen on. What brought me to doing this podcast is that I am very much trying to pick up my artistic life. I love drawing. I love illustrating. I'm not amazing at it. I'm not really good at it, but I do enjoy it. And once upon a time, I wanted to be an artist or a writer as my living. Those are the two things I want to make my living at, writing and painting. And I didn't think my painting was very good, especially when you look at the people in your class and they were amazing, absolutely amazing. And you look at yours and you're just like, huh. And also back in the 80s, there was no such thing as social media. There was no especially in the art world, apart from when you go into secondary school, you learn about all the artists. There wasn't really much anything else. So unless you had a family member who was into that type of stuff who can teach you, you're pretty much left to your own devices. Now, don't get me wrong, I've always been quite an open-minded child to a degree, but because I always kind of reached above and thought about things outside the box, but there were some things that I stayed within the box, and believing that I could even possibly make anything a living out of art was not one of my outside of the box thinking. And that was mainly because I was never good, like as in fine artist good, like drawing faces and drawing things so intricately and so beautifully. I was just like, I don't do that. I can't do that. Now, fast forward, I have done some pieces, illustrative pieces, and I've sold some on bags. I've done a painting for someone to put in their child's nursery, and I just done a couple little bits, but I've never really fully pursued it. I did have an Instagram channel where I just did some paintings, mainly abstract work, because I love working with palette knives. Is one of my favorite tools to work with, and I love working with texture as well. I used to go to an art class, just for activities, extracurricular activities. I did screen printing, I did the work. I just love working with my hands. And this is taking me to the 2000s, and I think internet has started. But obviously, even in the last 5 years, everything has really boomed. Like segments of the internet have boomed up, whether it's advertising, where it's people going self-employed. There's just been pockets of fire, and illustrating an art is one of them. And there are people who take their mainly illustrative work and they've created business with it, cards, greeting cards, made stickers, all these little other elements. And I had regrets for my past way of thinking, because seeing what I see now and everything else, it's just like, oh wow, you did this to yourself. Because in my head, I need to make proper money. I need to make money where I can actually see it, not money in drips and drabs and all this type of stuff. But then I didn't have manifestation. I didn't know about it back then to the degree that I know now. So that's why I'm telling you guys, no matter where you are in your stage of life, everything is about your mindset. There's nothing that you cannot achieve. Yes, some things may be a little bit tougher, quote unquote, going than others, but everyone and anyone can make it. I know a lot of people turn around and say, well, not everybody can make it, or it's not that easy, otherwise everyone can do it. Yes, they can. It's just that not everybody knows how to manifest the life that they want. They are still tied with the thoughts of the world of money doesn't grow on trees, not everybody can make it, what makes you so special, oh, it doesn't happen for people like us. You know, all these people that you see that have money and businesses, not all of them came from money. They came from the poorest of the poor. It's just that their mindset, the way they think and their determination is what got them to where they are. And the truth of the matter is a lot of people are not willing to put in that effort, especially in today's society from all generations. Some people just see people's end result and they have nothing but negativity to say about it. It's statements like, oh, well, of course, they probably come from money. Oh, well, maybe they're just lucky. Well, people like that always have things work out for them. They don't look at or even want to look at the hard graft that a lot of people went through, the crying, the tears, the giving up 5,000 times and picking themselves up. A lot of people don't want to see that. It's just a lot easier to accept the fact that they're not able to reach that because these people are exceptional, but no one is exceptional in that sense. Yes, you have more people that are naturally talented, naturally brainier, and they can do certain things, but no one is exceptional that you cannot live the life that you want to live. You just need a different thought process on it. Now, early on, I gave examples of me giving up on myself because I didn't think I was good enough. And also, I didn't see the future of what can happen with being an illustrator, apart from the obvious, like maybe for magazines, children's books, or other type of books and newspapers. Obviously, social media is a new, well, it's not new anymore, but it wasn't there 20 years ago. Even 20 something years ago now. And so who knew? It's like being influencers, it became a thing, and being a YouTuber and individual people talking about products or reviewing stuff, and those that are fortunate to stick with it and get popular have benefited from it. They've collabed with brands. They get brands that want to advertise on their channel. So many things have happened, and some people just did it and continued it, and it has paid off. Unfortunately for me, because of my own insecurities it was the insecurity first of my lack of talent more than anything else, and then the foresight that kind of held me back, and then afterwards, I suppose, knowing what I know now, the foresight of seeing all the stuff that people have done. They've opened their little shops. We're talking individual people in their rooms making little pieces of art in the forms of badges, key rings, little posters, postcards, etc., having fun and enjoying it. And that's all I've wanted in my life. I always wanted to be in my room writing and painting, and that's how I wanted to make my living. And again, as I am strong-minded, I am very much, I kind of never really listened to my parents' words, in the sense of the ones that is deemed negative now, things that doesn't make you, they weren't harmful or hateful, they were survival, because it would have passed down from generation to generation, and you couldn't blame them. Things were different back then. They didn't have what we have now, and now's the time you've got enough evidence, everybody, you've got enough evidence to stop your thoughts that doesn't serve you and start replacing them with thoughts that will serve you. You can achieve anything that you want. You have everything out there. You don't even have to buy a camera. You can do it from your phone now. You don't have to have a whole setup. Those things that can come later if money is an issue. And if you have a phone that can take a picture and film some video, you can start there. There are so many variations of things that you can do with life today, from video to pictures on social media. You've got people who are born from social media, going into crossing over into the slight celebrity world of actors and musicians and singers, etc. And it's amazing, it's wonderful, and it's exciting to see. So now we're living in a time where we don't really need to see what opportunities lie ahead of us, because a lot of it is already there. There's enough opportunity out there for us to get on with the things that we need to do. Back in the 80s and the 70s, people still had the same kind of mindset, in a sense of, I suppose, they're going to start a business if they want to start a business and do their own thing and go off and do their own thing. But that would only be those who would even dare think like that. The rest of us would just dream about it, fantasize about it, and just got on with normal life by getting a job so we can pay our bills and all the rest of it. So there's no excuses today to start changing the way you think. It doesn't mean it's going to be easy and you're going to wake up one day with this new sudden thought of positivity and raring to go. No, it takes practice, it takes a development, it takes habit, because you've had years of thinking in a certain way. I suppose, especially those of you who are older, we've lived a certain life, we thought a certain way. It's not that it's impossible. We can have the same amount of chances as someone who's younger, who's born into social media, because the younger generations have their own issues and their own problems. But no matter where you were born, what year you was born, and even what the things that you think can and cannot do, you can stop right now and you can reprogram your own mind, reprogram yourself to say, do you know what? I have all the evidence that I need for me to progress with the things that I want to do. I affirm for this day forward that I am who I am. I can change myself to become better than I was yesterday, and I am able to do all things that I want to do. You only have to believe and trust that it is already done. And that is it. Just some affirmation, and you can just go, like I said, go on YouTube, watch different videos, watch affirmation channels. The number one thing is watch other people's stories, listen to their testimonies on their affirmations. I've listened to people who's had no money, no job, and they ended up with the house of their dreams a year or two later. Now, I know some of you be like, excuse me, I want a house now, I don't want a year or two later. Trust me, when we're living through life and we're doing our stuff, other things can come into our life to occupy our mind that are positive. So when you do end up manifesting something and it took a year later, you're not even going to notice, like, wow, that was quick. Yeah, I mean, it's another thing. When we want something, just manifest it. I mean, you can say the word now as to kind of like reinforce, yeah, I'm going to make £1 million now. £1 million is in my life now. You can do that. And there's nothing wrong with that. But just be open and ready to receive when it comes. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this podcast. I certainly enjoyed talking, as you know, and as you can hear. And I hope that what I said has made and give you some food for thought about how you think. Don't be like me, where I was insecure about my art, and I could have practiced. I had pens, pencils and rubbers in my house. So it wasn't like I couldn't get a hold of these things, but my mind was preoccupied in a certain area of my life. And you know what? I actually don't regret my mind being occupied and how I went for it. But what happens is when it started to get somewhere and then it failed. And because it failed, me then not practicing things, something as simple like just doing some drawing every day, it hurts even more. So when you're out there building your life or trying to build your life, so you're going to put aside all the things that you like to do, the little hobbies, and you're there trying to do what you want to do, in a year, 2 years, 3 years later, you may be slowly climbing, or if not at all, you've just wasted 3 years of putting aside some kind of little happiness. So always work as well as you manifesting and living your life and trying to get to where you want to go. Make sure you put a time aside for the small things, because I can't get that time back, unless I draw every single minute, every single day to make up for it to the day I die. I can't make up for it. So anyway, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this podcast, and until next time, see you later.